mighty being, right? You would think if you saw God, you would know who he was. You would know right away, right off the bat. But Krishna Līlā, Krishna's divine play, divine pastime, is a little mysterious. Because he's posing as an ordinary person, but walking amongst persons like ourselves. So it's a little tricky, a little bewildering. And even we hear that the great gods, they are also bewildered. They also do not understand, who is this Krishna, right? And so we were just where we stopped earlier. We saw this Brahma Kund, right? Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, he was bewildered, right? He could not understand who is this ordinary boy. So he tested him, right? He stole all of the Krishna's friends and Krishna's cows. And then Krishna, he expanded himself into all of those forms that Lord Brahma had hid. And then Lord Brahma came back 1 year later and he saw that everything's going on as before. Then Lord Brahma could understand this boy is not an ordinary boy. And so Lord Brahma, he made an apology to Krishna, and there are so many beautiful prayers. And then also another similar case is Lord Indra, right? Lord Indra, he is the king of heaven, and he became angry. So where we are now, this is the sacred hill of Govardhan. And actually the hill is shrinking over time, and we hear that previously it was much bigger. And you'll see in some of our temples, they have these small stones that we worship. You'll see them in the temple. These small stones, they come from this hill. And as Srinivas says, a part of the infinite is also infinite. A drop of the infinite is also infinite. So these small stones, they're being worshipped in temples all over the world. They represent this Govardhan. And this is a form of Krishna. And the pastime of Lord Krishna, we hear that traditionally there was a sacrifice. In Vedic culture, there's this awareness of living in harmony with the elements, living in harmony with the environment, right? And so there are always these sacrifices, offerings that are being made to the gods. So Indra, he is the god of rain. And so the residents of Vrindavan, every year they would do this special worship of Lord Indra, because their main work is with the cows. The milk that comes from the cows, they sell that, and that's how they make their livelihood, right? And so so the cows need grass, right? And grass needs rain. There's a whole cycle here. In our modern culture, it's just like, we go from A to B, right? We go to the shop, we get what we want, then throw the packaging in the garbage. It's, we live in a very disconnected way, right? But in the traditional Vedic culture, there's this deep awareness, right, of all these different elements, all the processes, the energy that's behind everything that's coming to us. So there's this special honor given to the god of rain every year. And in that way, everything is continuing harmoniously. But 1 year, Krishna, Krishna, he is the supreme god, right? He is the supreme godhead. So Krishna, and actually if you're worshipping Krishna, then you're kind of let off the hook. Then you don't have to give special attention to this god and to that god and this goddess and that goddess, because Krishna is the center. Right? There's one verse in Bhagavatam, Yata Tarur Mula Nishechanena Jipyanti Yat Skandabhujo, saying that when you're watering the root of a tree, then the whole tree is nourished by that. You don't have to go and water all the leaves and the branches and so on. And so this is the understanding given in the scriptures and by our gurus, that if you're worshipping Krishna, then everything else is covered. You don't have to separately worry about honoring this, honoring that. You're giving your energy to the center, and from there Krishna can distribute. So Krishna wanted to teach this lesson, to his beloved companions, family members of Vrindavan. And so one year, the residents of Vrindavan, they're preparing for this annual sacrifice to Lord, the god of rain. And then Krishna told them, why are you bothering with this Lord Indra? And actually it's very funny, because Krishna, he spoke a kind of atheistic conception, a karma mimamsa. And their conception is that karma is everything. That, God, we're not so sure if there's a God. If there is, he's also under the control of karma. Right? That everything's happening on the basis of action and reaction. So Krishna preached this to his friend and family. So why? And he said, actually, everything we need is coming from this Govardhan hill. There are these wonderful sweet waters that come from this Govardhan hill. You know, fruits, flowers, grasses for the cows. Govardhan, the hill, Govardhan is giving everything to us. So then why are you bothering with this, Lord Indra? Let's just worship Govardhan. We'll worship this Govardhan hill. And so then Krishna, you know, he's quite charming, he's quite hypnotic, he's quite convincing. He's a little boy, you know, but he charms everyone. And they all agree, okay, we'll go along with what he says. And so then they bring all these offerings, piles and piles of offerings of so many wonderful food preparations and worship articles, and they're offering this to Govardhan hill. Then Indra sees what's going on. He's not very happy. And he doesn't know who this boy is. He's just this like little 12-year-old boy. Who is this talkative little boy? Who does he think he is? So Indra becomes very upset. And he says, I'm going to go and teach them all a lesson. You know, they've ignored me in favor of this foolish little boy. I'm going to show them who's who. I'm going to show them what's what. So then Lord Indra, right, he's the god of rain. So he's controlling all these elements, the weather. And so he calls some of his fiercest, you know, clouds and what is it, Shamantaka, what's the name? Fish were not, but like very like fierce.
Thunderbolt.
Yes, but there's a name for this special cloud. But yes, hail, thunder, lightning, everything. He begins raining upon the residents of Vrindavan. No, there's a special name for one of the clouds. That's what I was thinking, Shamantaka, but that's something else. That's a jewel. It's similar. We're getting close. But anyway, so now the residents of Vrindavan, they're being rained down upon, and they're being terrorized, and then they go to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you told us to ignore Indra and to worship this Govardhan. Now what happened? Now we're in trouble. So Krishna, you please protect us. You please take care of us. And there in our, many of you know our book, The Loving Search for the Lost Servant. There's one chapter there, beautiful chapter where Srila Sridhar Maharaj is discussing this Līlā, this play of the Lord. And one point that he makes there is he says that you know, when we leave behind our ordinary duties, right, our ordinary social obligations to come to Krishna, then we may suffer some repercussions. There may be some reaction, some resistance from the environment. And then he says, however, if we are careful to read the order of Krishna, to take shelter of Krishna, he will take care of us. And so what happened then? The residents of Vrindavan are coming, oh Krishna, you told us to ignore Indra and to worship the Govardhan hill, and now we're in trouble, please protect us. And this is also an important theme that is connected with this pastime. Right? We're told there are 6 limbs of Sharanagati, surrender, and one of them is confidence in the Lord's protection. And so this is one point associated with this Līlā, that it's a demonstration of how the Lord takes care of his devotees, and how the devotees should have that confidence, that faith that the Lord will take care of them, the Lord will protect them. So they went to Krishna. They didn't go anywhere else. Right? They didn't leave or call some. They went to Krishna. Please help us. So what does Krishna do? With the pinky of his left hand, he picks up his big Govardhan hill and he gives the shade to the residents of the house. He is posing as this little boy, but he's the master of everything. The power of gravity, that is nothing for him. Srila Maharaj makes this point. All the rules, all the laws of physics, right? They cannot change in an instant according to Krishna's sweet will. So then with his little pinky, Krishna lifts up the Govardhan hill And this went on for 7 days and 7 nights. The storm is raining down. And meanwhile, they're all having a wonderful time under Govardhan hill. Krishna standing like this. And remember, this is the aprakrita Līlā. This is the human-like Līlā of Krishna. Which means everyone around him, they're not thinking of him as God. They're just thinking of him as their beloved friend, lover, son, and so on. So instead of thinking, wow, this is not an ordinary person lifting the hill with his left hand, they're thinking, oh, he needs our help. And so some of the ladies, they're putting some butter in his mouth and making him stronger. And some of the men, they have their sticks, and they're also putting it up under the hill. Like, oh, Krishna, we're helping you too. You couldn't do this without us. And some of his friends are massaging his arm. So like this, and this goes on for 7 days and 7 nights. And then finally, at the end of that time, then Indra, he could understand, oh, okay, I got it wrong. This boy is not who I thought he was. He's obviously the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, this wouldn't be possible. And so then he came, then he ended his reign of terror. He came.
Samvartaka.
Samvartaka. That's it. The cloud. Right. Someone, is this a live stream?
No.
Oh, okay, you remember suddenly. Yay!
By your mercy.
This is Shintami Devi Dasi. We missed her yesterday. She's a little under the weather. She couldn't miss today, so she's out here with us.
FOMO's real.
What's real? FOMO.
Having FOMO.
Fear of missing out. It's a thing. Especially in America. So then Lord Indra, he came and he ended his storm and he came and he apologized. Oh, please forgive me. I could not understand, And so then he offered so many prayers to Krishna and he worshipped Krishna. So this Manasi Ganga, where we were, that is, we are told, is this celestial lake, is actually Ganga Devi in the heavenly planets. So Indra, he has some advantage, right? He can worship Krishna. We just worship Krishna with whatever little we have, right? He's worshiping Krishna with this celestial Ganga. Mandakini it is called in the heavens. So he worked those Manasi Ganga, that lake, the second lake we stopped at, that is that water. And where we're going now is Govinda Kund. And this is the milk. This is milk coming from the Surabi cow. The Surabi is this celestial cow who is in the care of Lord Indra. So Indra also put Abhishek, this worship, bathing worship of Krishna. So then with this worship and his prayers, he made his apology to Krishna. And of course, Krishna blessing him. So, short summary of the significance of this place. So we're here at the foot of this divine hill. And actually, our gurus have given us this teaching that, there's one Bengali expression, Andi Bhutta Chakra Vishaya Nurite Kemanese Paratakta Aivinde, that if our eyes are covered by the dust of illusion, then what can we see of the holy now, the holy abode of God's supreme truth? We cannot see. So when we are here, we're coming in a careful spirit. We will think, like one analogy our Gurudev gave is that, like when you're outside of an oven, right? You're getting some heat. You're on the cover, you're getting some heat. So we will think like that. Actually, with our eyes, we cannot see the real spiritual form of this holy God, but we're on the cover. And more significantly, we're here under the shelter of our gurus. Right? We're not spiritual tourists. We're not, Srila Saraswati Thakur used this expression of eye exercise. Right? We don't want to come here just for an exercise of the eyes. Like you can go anywhere in the world and see so many exciting things, right? And taste and smell. And we're here in the shelter of our gurus. Our gurus have given us this opportunity. They've given us a home here, so we're coming here. And we are taking their shelter. And another important point is that Actually, the most significant point about being here is that we can hear about the divine teachings and the divine plays, pastimes associated with these places. In the Saraswati Thakur, he says that true darshan, right, true vision of the Lord, of the divine, it comes through the ears, right, through hearing. So when we're going to these places, we're trying to hear, to contact what is the vision of our gurus, what is the vision of that higher plane, what are these higher teachings. And through that, then some true realization and true darshan, true vision will come. So, okay, I won't hold things up too much. We can stop there. Does anyone have a question?
How far in the earth term, how big, how long, how many miles?
I don't remember. 21 kilometers. Circumference, is it?
Circumference.
Circumference.
Yeah, all around, circumambulate, yeah.
But today is 13. Because half we are doing.
We're
half.
doing half.
So today 13 kilometers and half is 9 kilometers. That half. This is a big half. Big half is 13.
We're doing the big
The small,
part.
yes. Big half is body crown. And then head, 9 half.
All right, okay. So full circumambulate.
21.
Does anyone else have any questions or anything you want to bring up before we continue? Okay. Jai Shri Govardhan Ki Jai. And Govardhan is also known as Giriraj, right? Giri means mountain, Raj is king. So, Giriraj. Oh, then the other thing we should mention, is at that time, when the residents started making all these offerings to Govardhan, Krishna took on the form of Govardhan. And he began eating all these offerings himself. And so Govardhan, or Giriraj, is also non-different from Krishna. So we're worshipping. Actually, Giriraj has two identities. He has an identity as a devotee of Krishna, and he also has an identity as Krishna himself. Similar to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of a devotee. So within Giriraj Govardhan, there's also this dual aspect going on. But our gurus have given us this focus. We will worship him as Krishna. We are approaching him in that way. Although he's also known as the best of devotees of Krishna also. Haridasa Varya. Okay, Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai.